while I was going through and correcting your homework, there was one student that I ran into that had some challenges. I think that the web page that he created was absolutely gorgeous. Did just a really, really wonderful job. But there is a little bit of confusion with respect to the directory structure and what have you. So I'm just going to go ahead and head on over there. And if I click on this, you'll see that I get a 403 forbidden error. And this made me explore what was going on. And basically, if I go over here, and I've already uploaded his work onto my machine so that I can look at stuff through Dreamweaver, and let's just split into code. You'll notice that his design, his web design, his directory structure has a subdirectory called A1, which I think is excellent that he's dividing it out like this. And under A1, he has index, and he has a place for his JavaScript and a place for his cascading style sheets. He's created a web page called about.html and, of course, an index.html. If I collapse this, though, you'll notice that he's deleted all of the other resources that I made, which is actually fine. You can definitely do that and lay everything out the way that you want. The problem is that when we go into his web area, his website, if you will, it's going simply straight to Chung, if that's pronounced correctly, and the browser's assuming that there's an index.html here, and there isn't one. If we go back here and we look at his directory structure, if I can get this to move, you'll see that he has no index at all. So what he really needed to do was take this index file and whatever else that he wanted to do and get it into the root so that it would actually run, so it actually launch. To show you, though, that he did some just really wonderful work, what I'll do is I'll actually go to A1 and let's see what it does. And as you can see, he's done a really wonderful job on the headers, the home links, wonderful job on the menuing system that he's created here. Love his background. I love the use of the black and white. It's a very pleasant website to look at, okay? So now the other thing that I wanted to point out that has some small mistakes in all of this that he will need to correct is we go back over here, we can now look at his code, and you'll notice that he has a divide ID is equal to header. He can leave the header there. What he can do, though, here in HTML5, since this is a header, he should call it header, H-E-A-D-E-R right here. That is a valid HTML5 tag. Down here, where you see divide ID equals footer, he can use footer here, not the word divide. And under his main body or his main content, let's work our way down here, see if I can find it. Here's the banner content. He can put that within the header if he wishes. Okay. There's the index for a reference, the navigation stuff. Here we go. Divide ID equals body. Well, that's kind of a rough ID to be using because you already have a tag called body. You probably shouldn't be mixing names because you can accidentally refer to your body when you're writing JavaScript and basically hose your work, okay? So you could call it main. Replace this word with, this divide tag with main, which is a valid HTML5 tag, and then ID would be called main, and then down here where it says featured, you would call it, this would be article. This tag here, whereas it's divide, just call it article. And then you can do your divisions as needed when you're working your way through, the text that you're putting down here, where he used spans, which are also kind of unusual that he would use a span to do this. But it's working. It looks really, really nice. He just needs to start looking into implementing HTML5. So that should give you some good feedback, I think, with respect to one of the web pages, and hopefully you can start implementing what's going on. But what he did, also before I forget, again, and just a reminder, he's decided that he's going to use subdirectories for each one of his assignments, which is great. So what he would do is he would create his A1 assignment literally in the root. And when it all works perfectly, all of the stuff that was in A1 then gets copied into the A1 subdirectory, so that now when he starts working on assignment A2, he can make changes again on the root index page. And then when that's done, he can create another subdirectory called A2 and set up links to that. I hope that makes sense. Also, he doesn't need cwd.php anymore. This can be tossed. With that, I'll say happy coding.